Hello there, Nokorab here, and we are back at our spawn point from episode 1, right in front of the ruined portal, more or less. This episode is not going to be a proper episode as we have been. We're going to take a short break from the normal Let's Play series here, and just kind of look back at our progress through the New in Town data pack, and kind of go on a little world tour of what we've accomplished so far. See what we've all built and where we can kind of go from here, and then we'll pick up with the next episode in progressing through one of 3 kind of options that we have right now. So, as I said, we're at our spawn point here. This is where we started, right about. Found the ruined portal, of course, right away, which was a great start to what is turning out to be really what I think is a fantastic world. The ravine goes down to some mine shafts where we did lots of mining. But let's go over and look at our town. Of course, last episode, we opened this mysterious portal, but we have yet to pass through it. That will be one of our options later, is to go explore the dimensions of New in Town. But I'll get into more details as to what that would entail towards the end here of our tour. So we came over here, started our town with just a simple wagon, our covered wagon here, and the town planner guided us in starting our first structures, our lumber mill and our mine. And we've expanded now to have a pretty wide reaching town. So we've got our farm plot here where we're growing our potatoes, carrots, and wheat. Our fishery full of fish that we should probably kill at some point. I might do that off camera between this and the next episode. We built our haunted mansion by curing Harold in his cage, the zombie villager, and using the undead soul that he brought back from the grave to commune with ghosts in this haunted mansion. We've got our potion hut here where we're growing some nether wart, in addition to the nether wart growing in the nether, and our apothecary here is assisting us in crafting the potions, brewing the potions that we might need every so often. We explored the floating island and reached the very lower depths of the mysterious end fortress there, and killed the rift cicada to get the ender rift keystone, which allowed us to construct this end vault full of rotating shulker boxes, which I think is pretty cool. We have our homestead, of course, where we sleep. Our spawn point is here, our bed is here, and from here we kind of rule over our town. Although we have a castle, it's not necessarily where we live, and we'll get to that. We've got a very nice map of our town, our bed, our half-eaten cake up there, and a beautiful fireplace. We also have the wizard tower, at the top of which is a wizard and a full enchanting setup, and he dwells over a dangerous little lava lake, as all wizards should strive to do. Over here is our adventure guild. This is the home of an adventurer who has rewarded us for conquering the crucible and retrieving the sponges there by giving us our really first major supply of diamonds. We found a couple, of course, to get started, but we couldn't have been as successful as we were at holding off the tyrant without our adventurer here. Down here and back out, we have our butchery here with our butcher. Again, a great asset to us, supplying us with leather, the leather that we needed to eventually construct our wizard tower so that we could be prepared to face the tyrant. So our butcher really coming in clutch. We could not have been here, have made it this far without him. We've got our lumber mill, of course, the lumberer, and our miner, who have provided us resources every single day, working tirelessly and supplying it to our resource silo right here between the two. Our nether shrine serves as our portal to the nether, which we'll go explore in a little bit. But as you can see, we have the remains of the tyrant's many attacks on our town. So we've got another portal over there and over there, which we've destroyed. We've got the small nether portals around us, I think mostly in that direction, that have the nether scouts came out of. And then we've been tearing apart the arena, the platform that the tyrant entered through when he finally attacked our village. But we were able to hold him off and push him back to the nether. Although we went to the Nether first before we constructed our castle, it is in the overworld, so we'll go ahead and look at that here. Our wide-reaching, expansive castle, starting with our entryway, where our squire remains, and gave us the recipes to construct the rest of these wings. We've got our librarian back here, the royal librarian, keeping track of our royal library and providing us with enchanted books from all across the world. We have our stable over here, which we've yet to fill with horses. Of course, we have the opportunity to. I just haven't really had any need to as of yet, but I think if we do any kind of significant exploration in the overworld, that'll be probably one of the first things we do. We've got our courtyard over here, which also serves as the royal apiary. So we've got our beehives here. I'm not sure where our bees are going. I've seen them. Oh, they're inside. Okay, cool. So at some point, I know we'll be using this more often as we get into the custom structures. Several of them utilize honey quite a bit. Our guard tower here, which we'll climb to the top of in a moment, protects our treasury, where we collect taxes from our citizens for use all across the kingdom. Let's go ahead and climb to the top of our guard tower here, our castle tower, as I should say, and look down at our beautiful city. And there it is. Our dark oak tree growing in the middle of the town probably could use some regrowing here with a bit of it's been trimmed, but a major supply of our wood coming from the dark forest there. We'll go over to the swamp real quick before we go to the Nether, because we do have our zombie grinder there. We'll just kind of take a look at, and then we'll return, of course, later to go through the end portal and take a look at our shining city. All right, let's head down and, ooh, come on, go to the swamp. Down here. Okay, and this way. We'll run to the swamp. I think what we'll do real quick here, it has been asked, I've been, of course, not using commands or trying to avoid using the F3. There was a little bit when I was in the end where I couldn't help myself, trying to orient myself. But I am going to go ahead and give you guys the seed here. So let's do that real quick. So you can see that seed here. I'll go ahead and copy it and try to remember to put it in the description as well for those interested. But this is the seed that we've been playing on, generated randomly, of course, and it really has been just a fantastic seed. As obviously we've got the zombie grinder, or the zombie spawner, that generated over here quite near the surface, that we were able to turn into a zombie grinder. We didn't get super lucky on on diamond generation in terms of seed placement. Where am I going? That's the funnel. We need to come down here. Here we go. I mean, almost everything else sans diamond vein generation has been really, really optimal. It's been a fantastic seed to play on. So we found the zombie spawner pretty early and later on turned it into a zombie grinder, which relies mostly on zombie pathfinding. Obviously, it could be more efficient, but it's been working well enough for our purposes. And supplied us with lots of levels as well as rotten flesh, which we sold to the ghosts of our haunted mansion for even more bottles of enchanting and even more levels. All right. So with that, I think that takes care of the overworld. It is starting to get dark, but I'm going to go ahead and just go to the Nether right away, and maybe we'll sleep before we go to the end. All right, so let's come down through here. Our town planner, of course, sparkling from after we defeated the tyrant the second time, which we'll get to. Where am I going? Here we go. Here's our Nether portal and our Nether shrine. At some point, maybe we'll build a beacon, put it there. It's not going to do a whole lot of use because it's only a one-layer beacon pyramid, but that's okay. So after we pushed the tyrant back into the Nether, we launched our counter-offensive and started this Nether fortress, starting with this initial portal platform and building outwards with the help of our war strategists, collecting Nether bricks and gold ingot taxes from our denizens of the Nether fortress. We got a basalter over here who's been instrumental in providing both basalt and blackstone for various structures as we continue building for our fortress. The magical farm, of course, providing us with diamonds, iron, pork chops, really a vital piece of any fortress, and especially for ours. The farm miner has been really outdoing himself. We've got our Crimson Arbor as well as our Warped Arbor over here. These piglins aren't super happy with me. Probably not a whole lot I can do about that. Ah! Oh dear. Okay, they should be running away. That takes us to our respawn platform, which we moved into after a little while, after a couple of unfortunate deaths from some piglins. Do I have... Okay, I can put on some gold boots temporarily. Oh, that's Curse of Binding, that's right. Put on some golden chestplate temporarily. There we go. So we moved in here, of course, and continue constructing our fortress from here. We've got our Warped Arbor here, which we'll need to regrow at some point, but we did pretty good for the moment. Our Demolisher over here at the very edge of our fortress, clearly entertaining some piglin guests, who has been not super duper necessary yet, but certainly a good source of TNT should we ever go searching for netherite once again. Okay. Over here we have our Armorer and our Weaponsmith, who have been providing us mostly with enchanted books for improving our armor. That we've been using, and tools, of course, that we've been using. We haven't utilized them too much, but I think as we start to really develop ourselves and develop our armor, we'll be returning here to do so. The Soul Forge, which was not quite as effective as I was hoping for, certainly by design, but the Soul Forge providing us with a little bit of netherite scrap that we were able to use to produce some of our most powerful weapons and armor that we've been using throughout our playthrough. Down there we have the surviving blazes from our ancient drill, the Tyrant's ancient drill that we attacked and mostly cleared out, again, pretty much except for those blazes. One day we might return. I think it may be close enough that our nether keep will be able to assist us in taking care of them, but we'll deal with that later on. So let's come back this way. We have our Strider Dock, which we can take down to visit our young boy here that we've been trying to take care of as best we can as he carries us around the various lava oceans of the Nether. Looks like he found a friend here. Let's come back up. And I think that calls it for our fortress. Now, there's still lots to do here. I think we only ended up building 9 or 10 structures here. And indeed, we can certainly return here and work on the Nether Keep. And once again, I'll go over exactly what all that entails after we visit our end city, which we will go do now. Alright, so we'll come back through here. Got a couple of zombie piglins, I guess, who have passed through a portal. Let's go ahead and go to the end. There's no reason to go to sleep, I think. Alrighty. Pop through our end portal that we constructed using the end invasion plans from when we attacked the Tyrant at his portal factory. We discovered his plans to invade the end and hastily constructed an end portal to try to prevent it. Hop up here. Then after defeating the Ender Dragon, we returned to the overworld and confusedly returned once again to the end and to discover, unfortunately, they were too late. The Tyrant's invasion was already beginning, and we were able to put a stop to that, taking care of the obelisks with his generals, and then closing the portals that opened, releasing his army of ghasts, and then finally destroying the Tyrant once and for all at his platform once again. And then, grateful but defeated, the Endermen refugees needed a new home. And looked to us, turned to us to provide that for them. And so we began constructing this end city on the central island for them to live at. So we have our chorus plants growing outside. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we've constructed for this end city. So starting with our lobby, we've been building upwards with the help of our city planner and the end city recipes that he provided for us. We've been collecting popped chorus fruit as well as end stone from our various denizens of the end here. Let's go ahead and toss these in our ender chest. Yeah, okay. But otherwise, we've been having to go out in search of resources and materials to construct all of these expensive structures. So let's go up and look at what we've accomplished. So in our first room, the first thing we did was construct an endstone generator. The endstoneer buys and sells endstone, and we have an infinite endstone generator right here, similar to a cobblestone generator. That provided us with most of the raw material that we needed, so that we didn't have to completely tear apart any of the end islands to provide for our structure. We have our living quarters up here, where we moved in quickly to continue building out from, with our various furnace array, some extra storage here. I haven't really been utilizing this stuff, but it is here for us. So this is where we've been kind of staying as we construct the end city for the Enderman refugees. Over there, we constructed our return portal, so we didn't have to keep running to the central island to return to the overworld. We could just climb right up here, super nearby, and hop in to go back to the overworld. Go back down here, we have our chorus farm. Our chorus farm to help provide us with some more popped chorus fruits. Here he is, the chorister over here, providing us with chorus fruit should we need it, and we can sell, of course, popped chorus fruit for ender pearls. And he, of course, cultivates these chorus plants here. Nothing above here, so we'll go down this way. And then over here, we have been taking care of up here we go, a golden apple tree, which once a day has been providing us with some golden apples. A great source of food and power, just to aid us as we go out in search of materials for the Enderman's End City. Up here we have our ender mollusks. They have been providing us with a steady supply of ender pearls, and otherwise just kind of chilling in these nice little oyster pools here. There should be one more ender pearl somewhere nearby here. Unless I already got it. Maybe I did. That's alright. Alrighty, and then up here we have yet another intersection, I do believe. Yes, indeed. The only building that we have constructed for it being the capstone, the central structure, the Ender Throne, where the King of the End sits, waiting to provide us with more tyrant locusts should we decide to build even more structures for the End City, and who will sell us back the dragon egg that we used to construct this throne room for him, to show that we truly cared about the Endermen and wanted to provide them with a safe home and their own ruler, who is neither a tyrannical dragon nor the tyrant Wither himself. And that is where we've kind of left off. We've constructed, more or less, not completed, not built every single thing, but constructed the town, Nether Fortress, and End City, the three kinds of structures available in Newentown, and we've completed the main storyline, the Tyrant Saga. So let's go back to our living quarters, and we'll kind of discuss where the series can go from here, now that we've completed our world tour. So we'll jump over here. Oop, ow, missed that. Okay. So we'll jump up here. So, let's take a look at our advancement tree real quick and see what we're looking at. So, for Newentown, as I said, we haven't completed any of our three kind of conglomerates, our structures. So, Peace in the Kingdoms and advancement that we'll get for completing every functional non-castle structure. We already have King of the Castle. We completed a castle with 6 wings. So, there's still 7 more structures that we can build for our town before we can call that complete. We also haven't opened the paradox box. We'll have to see what we can do to get that advancement. We also don't have War Machine. We need 5 more structures. We've built 10, so we need 5 more structures to complete our Nether Fortress. In addition, we've recently updated to version 2.4.1, which gives us access to the Nether Keep, a new kind of castle-like structure for our Nether Fortress, which we can construct 6 wings for to reach the harsh exterior advancement. That's almost certainly something we'll do at some point. So the main question becomes whether we do that next or not. And then over here, we've only... Oh, that's not correct. We haven't finished our Shining City advancement. We haven't finished our End City, although clearly it's not calculating correctly. So that's something I'll need to work on, I think. So we still have more structures to build for our End City to be completed. In addition, we have the Newentown Harvest add-on, as well as several other add-ons that aren't currently installed that we could definitely install that we could start working on. Most of them providing new structures for our town, for our settlement in the overworld. So that would be a route that we can take. And then lastly, we open the mysterious portal that takes us to dimensions unknown. So that is also something that we could do. So we have, as I said, 3 options. Either we can download the rest of the New in Town custom structure add-ons that various members of the New in Town community have put together, put their time and effort and care into to create some really cool structures for us to build in our town. All publicly available, of course. Links would be provided in the description should we do that next. There's lots to do there. A lot of them are really extensive, really super cool. Some of them are just aesthetic, including the official aesthetic add-on, which we would build a couple from. So that is one option that we can go about. The next option would be constructing a nether keep. Wouldn't take too long, probably only a couple of episodes, we'll see. It is expensive. They're all expensive structures to construct a nether keep for our nether fortress with very powerful structures, which would be super cool, I think, to do next if that's something that you were interested in. And then lastly, our last option is to go through the mysterious portal and explore the Dimensions of New in Town pre-release. As the name implies, it is a pre-release, so a lot of things are not going to stay the way they are. There's lots of things still left to add, and indeed lots of things that have already been added, but aren't available in 1.16, so they utilize 1.17 features. The only, I would say, if we don't do the dimensions next, it might be something that we wait until 1.17 releases to go and actually look at, because by then, fingers crossed, the plan is that it'll be complete by then, and maybe we'll do a whole new Season 2 New in Town, where we'll focus a lot more on the dimensions once we get that opportunity, and kind of intermingle it with a normal New in Town gameplay. So those are kind of our options. Either for when it comes to dimensions, we can either do that this season or next season, come 1.17, and we can either do that next, we can do the Nether Keep next, or we can do the custom structure add-ons that have come next. And all of that, regardless of which one we choose, will be intermingled with completing the rest of the advancements for the various New in Town main structures, the settlement, the Nether Fortress, and the End City, to achieve those advancements and complete every single functional structure. So those are our options. I hope you've enjoyed this world tour. Not really a proper episode in terms of actual progress, but I hope it was cool and interesting and nostalgic to kind of see where we started from and what we've accomplished since then. Please remember to leave a like and share with your friends so they can catch up on this series with this great kind of capstone here to finish off the main storyline saga, and the rest will just be kind of completionist or exploration type stuff. Leave a comment, let me know what you guys would like to tackle next in this Let's Play series, whether we kind of call it good or go through one of those 3 options for continuing with this season. Remember to subscribe so you can keep an eye on new episodes regardless of what we do. With that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.